So we play on Moonlight. That's my standard training map because it's very simple in my opinion, even more simple than Tetraprost or something. So I will set my first factory at least to 1 max. It's not possible to set it to 2 maxes at this in this map. Then we start with 2 pigeons, mass extract. Why can I not? Oops, it's not a mass extractor. 1 mass extractor. Then running towards the second mass extractor, building 3 more pigeons, building a second land factory at a position we can build it. Then reclaiming some stuff, running onto the hydro and building the hydro with our engine together. I start with 1 engine, then building a land scout, building a McMarine to attack, building 2 more engines, building a land scout, building a few tanks, and then spamming tanks and engineers without any specific order. At least I do. Most people have a very special build order for any map. I do not have, and I think you do not have to need. You do not have to need. You do not have to have. And with my first engineer I go for the next mass extractors, at least for the 2 that are exactly next to the base. Then I move out, do some expanding. Also get a few wrecks that are always on the map. On nearly every map there's something to reclaim. You may hear that when I was flaming about income not reclaiming anything. And then I just go for more mass extractors and set a patrol order so it will reclaim anything that is found on the way. First problem here is the early tank. You can build an early tank, but first you have to build a scout and also you have to do something with your tank, and I will tell it to him now. So if you want to do early raid, don't use a tank normally. Do use a McMarine. So of course we are playing on clear side, so we can give better advices to him. But normally you do not play on clear side. It means you can see the terrain and so on, but you cannot see any kind of units moving around on the map. By the way, we have big mass here in the middle, so I sent my third engineer reclaiming the big mass and then pulling back and build some intel. After that it will just build pigeons. I have a pigeon template. You see this? It does not build only 1 pigeon. If you don't know how to do templates, just Google it. I cannot explain it now. Let's have a look what he's doing again. I think he has way too less pigeons. That's a big issue. And also he's running to every max with his commander. So I will pause it again and tell him. So you don't need to run to every single max with your commander, because if you have your commander selected, you see this orange ring, that's your build radius, and within that build radius you can build everything without moving. So if you set something here, it will be instantly built, but if you set something here, commander will run here and then build it here. You can prevent this if you, let's go something where you see it. So if I stand here and want to place something here, I do not just place it here, commander would run here and build it here. I do this, click it here, and then it will use the build range to build it, because it's already inside the build range, but it will not run onto here and then build it. You will lose too much time by doing this. So I already have a small raiding force. If you have a small raiding force of, let's say, 2 tanks and 1 scout, you can send it to destroy something. As you see, I already have my McMarine here denying these 2 mass extractors. That's the next big problem of him. He is not... Yes, the build range is a feature of FAF. At least that is shown is a feature of FAF. The build range in fact is no feature of FAF. So I see this coming with my scout. Actually I see it coming to a clear side, but however I pulled back. You can try to micro take 1 lap against the tank, but you normally cannot win it. At least if your enemy is not doing total crap. So now I help the Hydra with my commander, and after that I'm building some factories. You should have at least 6 land factories on every map. Also, big mistake, take 1 point defenses. No, take 1 point. You can build take 1 point defenses, all air and also ground, but you have to do it on hot spots and also spots where you have some army. For example, at this point you can build a take 1 point defense. It's really useful to defend it, but a take 1 air defense in your base is really not useful. And also, if you're trying to grab air supremacy, you should use it. So just building an interceptor is pretty useless. If you have air, you should instantly go for a bomber, or at least a gunship. You cannot go for a gunship as Seraphim, so you have to go for bombers. And the next important thing is move your commander to the front. Always move your commander to the front. So that's maybe the most important thing, and don't forget your factory, so that's only happening if you're talking too much like me. I have to watch out that I'm not zooming in and out too fast, because that would look awful on my stream. But normally there's no limitation in zooming in and zooming out, and normally I'm moving my window of the screen by zooming out and in on the position, but I will try to do it with the K-bot. I think it will look better. We see some factories now coming out for him. That's very good, but you shouldn't build 3 factories at the same time. Build 1 factory and then build another factory, but not 3 at the same time. We will just unnecessarily lose time. I don't think his economy is very good at the moment, but that's probably because he did not protect his expanding engineers, which is the next thing you should think about. So we see finally a bomber, and Isle bomber is as bad as no bomber. Use it. If he has a bomber, I'm gonna show that. I will build an air factory. So of course I could win this game now, but we are here for training, we are not going for rampage. If you're attacked by a bomber, you should move your army around. If you're not able to migrate all the time, just randomly click all over the map, and then so it will randomly move around now, and the bomber will have hard times to hit anything. So it will probably go for a new target. I will also move this one around. Normally you should do small curves, so bomber will not hit your tank while it's moving straight on the line. And really important thing again is to move your commander to the front. If you do not do this, you will be outmatched by the other commander. Yeah, your commander is like 30 tanks. Your commander can face 30 tanks without any help. It will be low after it, but it can do. And with the help of some tanks, it does 100 DPS, while attack 1 tank does like 30 DPS or something. Now you see he's finally moving his commander. If you see the enemy commander attacking your tanks, immediately retreat. And if you're in the position that it's possible, just split up your tank to fight the 2 directions, so the commander has to follow one, and you will not lose that many tanks. Every tank you lose to your commander is a lost tank in double way, because at one side you lose a tank, and the other side the enemy commander gets veterancy. Whenever your commander reaches 20 kills, 40 kills, 60 kills and 80 kills, I don't know the exact values, it will gain more health and more regeneration rate, so that's really bad. And once you see that you grab map control, that means you grab more maxes than your enemy, and you see that, maybe see that the enemy commander is out of position, you can think about rushing his base. That means you pull more or less all your units, or at least a big part of your units, let's build some anti-air defense, together with your commander and then attack the base. This can be pretty good prevented by Tech 1 point defense, and if there would have been Tech 1 point defense here, I would have to pull back, build some artilleries and kill the Tech 1 point defense by artilleries. That's a big problem of Tech 1 point defense. It is easily countered by artillery. That means if you're attacking a Tech 1 point defense with tanks, Tech 1 point defense can kill up to 20 tanks, 10 tanks, no idea what exactly. But if you're attacking with at least one arty, you can just outrange the PD and kill it without any problems. So this is why you should always have tanks or a commander with your PD if you have one. Also, Tech 1 tanks are nice versus other groups of tanks and also the enemy commander, but they are not nice at destructing base. Taking down factories with Tech 1 tanks is really hard, takes a lot of time. You should have arties with your army as soon as you're going to attack the enemy base. Also, if you do have your interceptors, try to regain air supremacy. If you're already at winning, try to kill the air-to-ground units.
Commander wird angegriffen.
Try to kill the air-to-ground units again. And if you see there's a static anti-air, I actually didn't notice at the moment. Try to kill it with your Tech 1 land units to make the way free for your Tech 1 air. Tech 1 point defense for air is pretty good. If your enemy has air, nothing can really defeat it except really big bunches of Tech 1 bombers. Tech 1 bombers can take out Tech 1 anti-air defense in big groups. But except this, there is really nothing you can do against this with air on T1. Also, if you're attacking factories, do not do it like I do. Press reclaim, because reclaim the factory needs 30 seconds, while shooting the factory actually needs like 46 seconds. 100 DPS per second, one shot every second, one shot 100 damage. So just go to the factory and reclaim it. You have to watch out, because if you're standing like this, you're an easy target for artillery and so on. But in every other case, it's the best solution. So if you have artilleries around, you should not do this. Otherwise, always reclaim the factories and do not shoot at them. It takes a really long time. Now there is an artillery. I don't care one artillery, but if there are more, you would have really to watch out. Also, you can try to reclaim some wrecks in the enemy base that will give you a huge mass plus. As you see, I have plus 100 if I'm reclaiming a factory. This factory is also nearly done, so I can reclaim it, getting much mass and also denying the build capacity of my enemy. And once you're in this position, just watch out that you don't get drawed. The enemy commander explosion does 2,500 damage or something. So always remember that your commander has to have more than 2,500 HP. As long as you're within the radius of your attack range, the closer red ring, the bigger red ring is the ring of your attack range, and that's more or less the ring of the death nuke, the ring of the 2,500 damage. I actually do not know what's the second ring, but I think you don't have to know. And also, if the enemy commander is running away from you, you can try to use your tanks. Just go behind the enemy commander, so it will stuck in the tanks and will get slowed down and probably get so stuck that it cannot move anymore at all. You should always use your commander to kill the enemy commander as long as it's not ultra late game, because as you see, the enemy commander has already more HP than it originally had because of the veterancy, and veterancy is the thing you get when you kill the 20 tanks, 40 tanks and so on. So always use your commander to kill the enemy commander. You really need the DPS and you really need the tankability of your commander. Yes, and if you're doing all that, you should be able to get at least to 500 to 700 rating. And if you're there, we can go on with another training.